Hi everyone, it's Liam with Lovely Scrappin'. I'm back with another flower tutorial. Yay! I know it's been so long. But anyways, I was making some flowers for a project I'm doing, and I got the initial inspiration from Leonie. She's my passion for paper. And I was watching one of her YouTube channels a long time ago, and I remember her referring us to a blog which shows you how to make these gorgeous, I think they call them wild roses. And I made this one and I thought, oh, this is so much fun to make. They're so addicting, so easy. And then I kind of came up with a way to make a gardenia. And so I came up with this was the first one I made. And I thought it turned out really good and I really liked it. So I figured I would just share with you guys my technique on how to make your own paper gardenias. And you can play, with whatever center you want. This one here, I just made my own handmade bead stamens, and I've done a tutorial on how to do that with my cherry blossom, handmade cherry blossom flower. So check out that video. I can also post a link to that below if you're interested, and that shows how I make those little bead stamens. And then you can also use your own stamens if you have some in your stash, like I've done with this one. And then this one here, I've just glossy accented a bunch of beads to it. This one here is also one like this, where with my handmade salmon. So anyways, I'm going to show you how to make this flower here, guys. So hang in there and we'll get started. So the first thing that you're going to need, of course, is either your Cricut, Big Shot, die, punch, whatever. These are what I'm using, and this is the EK Success Retro Flower Punch. This is the large and the medium. So what you're going to need is some cardstock, color of your choice. You can do white and then glimmer mist it after or whatever. I do one for the leaves in green and two large flowers and two of the medium flowers there. And then you're going to need a spray bottle with some water. And you're just going to spray the leaves lightly, not too much. You don't want to soak them, but you do want them wet enough so you can kind of wrinkle them a little bit. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Okay, so then I just take, for the big petals, I'm using just an old cheap paintbrush, and I'm just using the part here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl the leaf on there, hold it with one finger like that, and then just take my other hand and just squeeze it and pinch it together really carefully. You don't want to rip the petals. So there's one. Again, I'm just going to hold it like that and then pinch them together. And if you find that when you're doing this it's not holding the wrinkle shape, it's probably because it's too wet. So just kind of take your heat tool, dry it a little bit, and try again. But you'll kind of, as you make them, you'll get an idea of how wet it should be. Another one. So do it to each petal. There. So each petal is kind of wrinkled like that. Hope you guys can make that out. And then now I'm just going to kind of pinch them a little bit and just do a little twist like that. And then pinch it down. Pinch and then twist. And I like to do these all going the same way. And just shape it to however you want. I mean, it's totally up to you how you want your petals to look. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm just going to put it down here. It's a bit easier to work with. And I'm just going to hold the center down and just reinforce my little twists. Just kind of push it down a little bit. And then I'm going to take my heat tool. I use a bamboo skewer to hold it down because it won't melt if you use a paintbrush. That's not wood, it might melt. So I'm just going to heat set this. Okay, and so then you can just shape the petals if they're folded a bit too much, then just shape them a little bit so they're a little bit of a softer look to it. Okay, and there's the first one. Okay, so then we're going to do the same thing to the other big one. then for the smaller ones, now this one got a little bit dry in the process, so I'll just spray it again. I'm going to take a smaller one and do the exact same thing I did to the big one, just with the smaller one. So that's what it looks like all wrinkled. So then I'm going to do the same thing again, twisting, and be careful because it's smaller, so it's a little bit more delicate. Just twist the petals ever so slightly and pinch them down. So that's what it looks like. Same thing with the heat tool. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So now you're just going to put it together. So you're going to obviously layer the big one on top of the other big one like this and stagger it. Okay, and I'm just going to use hot glue. And the same thing with the little ones. See how that looks? So cute. You can even just keep it like that and just do a small one. And then now you're just going to add them together like that. So there it is. So this is how it looks before you put the centers. Now whatever center you want, you can do pearls, you can do the stamens in it, like this one here. That's one with the stamens that I had. And this one here is, where did it go? Oh, right here. I handmade these. They're like little, it's like a little spray almost, using 3 little beads. And I do have a tutorial on how I made this, like my own bead stamen for the cherry blossom, and I can post a link to that at the bottom of the screen for this this video here. So I'll just, and that's how that looks. I thought that looked kind of cute. So just little beads. So I'll put that one in that. That's what it looks like. So I put this in here and then I put the leaves on last, but I'll show you how I cut the leaves in the meantime anyway. Okay, so you just take this and I just freehand it. So I take from the middle of the leaf my scissors and I just sort of go like this. Sort of wiggle it so it's not a straight line. And I kind of go work my way towards the center. Then I just flip it over and do the same thing. And then I do the same thing to the other petal. So now I'm just going to crinkle it, break it down a little bit, fold it, make it a little bit rough looking, like bending it. like that. And then I'm just going to set it aside because I will put it underneath after I'm done with the center here. So all I do is take a paper piercer here, and I'm just going to pierce a hole through the center of my gardenia. And I'm going to want to make it fairly big because I need to fit those wires through, so I'll probably make a few pokes. I think that should be big enough. So I'm just going to take my center here and feed it through the hole. Just like that. And obviously it's coming out there, so I'm going to trim the back. And I'm going to just fold this down because I'm going to glue my leaves over top of it to secure it in place, and that's how my stamens will stay there. So all I'm going to do is put some glue here, making sure I'm covering up those wires. There might be a little bit of excess showing through the leaves, but that's fine. Then you're just going to place your leaves on. And you can kind of curl the leaves a little bit more if you want. And then to just kind of give it a finished sort of a look, I'm just going to distress it with some brushed corduroy. And just kind of give a nice little two-tone sort of a look, give it a bit of a distressed, bring out the petals a little bit. And then I'm just going to bring up these petals in the center a little bit because they flattened down a little bit as I was working with it, and just adjust it. And there you have it. Super easy, you guys. Your own gardenias. So much fun. Save some money, make your own. No need to go out and buy it if you got some punches or a die cutting machine of some sort. You can even freehand cut or print out, you know, a sort of a flower shape from your computer and cut it out and use it as a template. So there is just an idea of how to make your own gardenias. I hope you guys like it. I've also been making these roses using my punch. They're pretty simple. I did a tutorial on how I make my little mini roses using, you know, this punch here. And these ones here are just the exact same technique, exact same way doing it, just using this punch, the bigger punch, and one extra flower to make it a bit fuller. So that's how I did these ones. So I like how these ones turned out too. They're super fun. This one is without distressed, and then this one I distressed with my scissors as well as my Tim Holtz, you know, the distress tool. It's a bit more difficult with this, I find, because it's kind of finicky working with the petals, but it takes a bit longer to distress each one. But that's how I did that one. I like how it turned out as well. And yeah, so those are my gardenias. I hope you guys like them. Please feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you think, and I'd love to see pictures if you guys decide to make some. Let me know. I'd love if you, link me to your video somehow or whatever. Leave me a message and let me see. I love to see. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked the tutorial. Take care. Bye now.